Right then, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, check it out. I tend to do a lot of stuff, not because I'm trying to do every niche, it's just me. I like doing lots of things, so that's what I put on my channel. I would like it if YouTube had, like, instead of saying playlists, it said series, because that's what I do. I have different series, and I've got plans for loads more. But today, I'm back in the shed. I haven't been in the shed for a while. If you have a look on the channel, I've got one whole video about building this whole room in my shed. It's all done. It's a good video. I like it. I think you'd enjoy it. I haven't been in here for a while, and it's turned into a bit of a storage shed, hence the mats and the skateboards. This is it tidy. I've tidied it. It was worse than this. It has just been a dry storage thing, shed, where I don't want stuff to get damp. Anyway, I've got back into Warhammer, which I'm going to do a whole separate video just about the roller coaster we've been on the past couple of weeks. Well, like 2 weeks, with me and my like hyperfixation-y stuff, but general thing, me, Warhammer, back into it, want to play, going nuts a bit. So I've come back to the studio room that I built for doing Warhammer and like RC cars and all that kind of stuff. But I've noticed some things that I could do a change in, so today's video is going to be like a DIY video, a small one. And that's what we're going to do. So the main issue I found is the table size. If you might recall, if you've seen the other video, this has a small table at the back, and then I can slip on 2 boards to make it bigger, and with a 3rd board on, it comes to like here. So you can see the edge of it there. It's a nice big chunky board. It's behind that door. I'll show you in a minute if you haven't seen it already. Problem being that I've found, with Warhammer, I need a table this size. Exactly this size, right? With the 2 pieces together, that is perfect. But when you're playing, you like to have somewhere to put like your books and maybe like roll your dice and things like that. So I could do with just a bit on the end. This is the other said board. So you can see it's a good chunky board. So what I'm thinking of doing is cutting this down, because I don't need it this big. I've had this board on and I've set up like a scaletric track, but what happens is, with how chunky these doors are, when you're trying to get round it, it's too tight, it's too small. I'm in the shed at the end of the day. Like, it is what it is. I can make it as pretty as I like, it's still a fucking shed. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this down, so it's probably just like 50 centimetres. What is it now? Let's measure it. We have 118, so it's 118 centimetres long. We're going to cut it down to 50, just to give like a nice little working area, just to have your book, your dice and all that kind of stuff, so you don't have to do it on like the battlefield. So the idea being, board ends here. This is where the match will happen. I want to stand here with this other piece of board. Problem is, look, this fucking piece of wood here. I bit my head off it. Yeah, this is not ideal. This is problem number 2. Now, this piece of wood is here as like a slam panel for the door. So when I close these 2 doors, it hits the wood and doesn't go past and into the space. So I'm kind of double looking at it and going, excuse me, do I need to have it the full length, right? I've decided no, I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put just a little piece just in the middle, just to catch the middle of the doors as they close, because I'm not slamming it, like I'm just pushing, just a gentle touch. So that'll act as like, I think it's called a slam panel, I don't know when you make like a normal door. So that's that. Right, the only 3rd part then is when I close these doors, there's actually still a bit of a gap at the top, and like with my little heater at the back, I want to keep the heat in. So this actually acts as, oh, basically it covers the fucking gap, right? So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to make the board to go on the table, the wider bit. I'm going to take this off and put another little bit there, and then what I'm going to do is I'll get another bit of wood and I'm going to put it this side of the door to cover the gap instead of inside the room. So hopefully you understand what I'm doing today. Might not sound like a lot, but when it's raining today and I've got a cut in here and my circular saws are broke, well, I've got one that's broke, just dead, but the blade's fine, and I've got one that's fine but the blade's fogged, and they're not interchangeable, so I've got to use hand saws today. Ugh. And if I get time, I've got a nice little idea for like a little battle round command points board. So yeah, fancy etching out where it says battle round into the wood, getting like a router or something and cutting like a groove down here, and then getting like a nut and then use that as like a marker to put on top of what battle round you're on. And then at the same time etching command points, and then I've seen you can get like a giant dice, so put that there just to count how many command points you've got for your round. I suppose we best get cracking then. Step 1, remove wood. Fucking right, love. Wicked. So that bit's done. Fucking door won't go past there. Perfect. Right. Step 1 is done. So now you can see, I think, yes, you can. You can see the gap. See the gap? Woo! Gappy! So yeah, I just want to fill in that gap. So I'm going to have a look around the shed, see what wood I've got left, and see what I can do to fill that in. Right then, so I've done this side at the top. I tried putting it on the door at the top, on this side, round here. But when I was trying to pull the door out, it was, first it caught on the middle bit, and then it was catching on this beam here. So by the time I'd load it there, it was still leaving quite a gap. Now look, I'm not too fussy. I don't need this to be fucking airtight. Like, I'm not preserving bodies in there or nothing. Watching Dexter lately, probably that's why that's in my head. But yeah, so I've just done it this side. So it just covers up most of the gap. So I'm going to leave you on. Now, because you didn't want a load of footage of me just fucking cussing and swearing. I didn't swear at all. I'm quite used to this. This is just the way I work. I'm very gung-ho. If you're watching any of this and thinking, oh, fucking hell, this is how it's done. It's not. This isn't. My old man's a proper chippy. I don't fucking talk to him. Well, he don't talk to me. That's a whole other thing. I just use screws and wood and nails and shit and muddle my way through it. That's how I do things. Get off the door. Hold the door. So as you can see, gap, no gap. Soon to be rectified. It is what it is. And that end, another screw. That's the gap done. Wicked, that'll do. There's still like I can just about push my little finger through, but that's fine. I don't know if you can see there. Over here, there's this gap running down this whole edge. Like, I can put all my fingers through that fucking gap. And on the days when I've got the heater on, you do notice the difference. You open these doors and the warmth just comes out. So yeah, gap done, middle bit done. Still got the slammy bit in middle, so now we can work on cutting the big board down to add on to the end of the Warhammer table. Wicked. Oh, fuck this. What's the blade like on my multi-cutter? Just wear gloves, man. I'll get a piece of hand sandpaper and just run it over that. So like on the underside, I weren't too bothered about sanding against the grain because it's going to be underneath. But yeah, on top, I'm choosing this bit of hands paper, but I'm going with the grain off the lip because I don't want any sandpapery marks against the grain because it looks shit. You know what I mean? Well, that's a bit easier to slip on. Much smaller. Right there. Slip me hooks on. There we go. That's how isn't it? I need to get the vacuum out, don't I? Hey, here you are. Book, you know, model dead off the table. Wicked. But at least we have the gaps covered, the slam panel reduced, moved, big board cut, moved. So that's good for a game of somewhere to stand. So yeah, so far so good. Right then, this is actually the next day. I decided yesterday when I was doing it that I'd done enough in the shed. I had lunch with the wife, and what else did I want to get done? Done the cold plunge because I started getting back on that. So done the cold plunge and whatnot. Then it was time to get the kids and whatnot. So I knew if I'd have carried on recording and wanted to do this yesterday, it'd have been one of them things where it's like I'm kind of rushing a bit, and then it's like stop what I'm doing, go straight and get the kids, and I didn't want to do that. And I'm doing this whole habit tracker thing, which I might do a video on for the channel. And it's really helping. Like, it's nice because I'm thinking of my day, of like what I want to tick at the end of the day to fill up me like roll me habit tracker. Anyway, sticking with the theme of this video, I managed to do the word battle and it didn't turn out too bad. I'll change the angle so you can come and have a look. Right, so as you can see yesterday, before I left, I did manage to etch out the word battle. Ignore this extra E, that's going to be cut off. I'm going to cut the board there instead. And then I'm going to etch out the word round, so it'll say battle round, and then what I want to be able to do is slide this down to 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, depending which battle round we're in the middle of playing. And then this bottom bit here, I want to etch out command points, and I've ordered some nice big dice, so I want to etch out a square, and then you put the dice in, and then you roll that, put that for whatever, you know, number of command points you're on during that turn. And I might paint it, and like grey or something, just paint in black in where I've etched it out, just so it's a bit tidier. So, yeah. Can't see me thumbs up there, can you? Thumbs up. Right, let's crack on. I want to get this done. Well, I've done it. The only downside is, kind of looks like a dick. Don't it? I mean, originally I wanted to write command points and then have the dice like there, but I subconsciously went for a cock. Right, I'm going to spray this black or grey, and then I might give it another sand, because the paint with a bit of sand should hopefully get a bit smoother, because it's quite furry, this MDF stuff. But hey, it's just for playing Warhammer. Like, it ain't got to be nothing overly fucking dramatically amazing. It's a playing aid, isn't it? That's what it's called. Right, let's spray some paint on it. So I've jumped ahead a little bit and I've actually finished it. Phew! Here it is in all its glory. So what happened was I sprayed it, as you saw, but then it was like, get the kids from school, blah de blah. But it was a decent evening with them. They went to bed on time, so I did it in between sorting the kids out, basically. I sprayed one coat and then sanded it and gave it another coat and then tried a different paint and then let some dry. And so it was very much like an evening of chucking it on the radiator, putting another coat on, chuck it on the radiator, put another coat on. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with how it's turned out. I'm happy with it. So that'll be alright for knocking around with some games and bits. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you like it. I think it's alright as a little gaming aid. I think it's went quite well. But overall, we've got all the alterations that needed done to the room, built the little game aid. Train going past as always with my videos, but time must press on. Yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think of that. Have a look around the channel, because I'm a bit of a strange channel. I tend to do videos about all the different things I like to do and I'm interested in and everything else. There's my podcast, which I think is like my flagship series of the channel. But yeah, and also today, what I'm going to be doing right after this is doing the final scene for my skate ramp video, because I actually built an entire half pipe in my garden. So that scene will get finished today, which means I can finally finish that video, which I started last year. So keep your eye out for that. Otherwise, if you're into Warhammer or whatnot, enjoy playing, have fun, and stick around on the channel.